All right, so welcome to. Is it episode 25? Did I change that? Is that right? Hold on, I'm checking.
I don't know. You do all the manual stuff over
No,
here.
it is 25.
I'm just the pretty face.
So episode 25. Um, Today we're just gonna go over a little summary of the Smite GT this last weekend. I think it went pretty well. That's
I thought it went
that's
well. I
I
lost
did
my voice.
I did too. Um, that's clearly what me and Cameron have been up to. We also have been pushing to get a team of 5 to go to California. So that's the other thing we're doing as well.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been super excited. Thinking about all sorts of lists, getting a band together.
yep. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right. So the first thing I want to do is go over the Ironjawz supplement that came out today. I think we both
Going
have
over
some
that
hot.
first.
Yeah, we're gonna do that first. I think we're gonna have some hot takes on this. All
All
right.
right, I got the supplement up for you
All right.
for myself.
Let me swap here. All right. Hopefully you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Let's start with the actually the first thing let's start with, right? And I probably should have done this. Actually, Cameron, if you can do it, since you got it up on your screen too. Actually, I'll do it. I'm gonna make a screenshot of the points because I think that's important. So let me just do a screenshot real quick. Oh man, the art boys.
My
Too sad.
my my my, f- my first hot take is some of these things are way too high.
Yep, I agree with you. So let's start with the big boy.
A
Um,
big boy of 380 points.
380 points. So what are we talking here? What else is like close to 400 points that we can compare this to?
All right, so the biggest thing we compare this to is the Maw Crusher. And so we have the Maw Crusher at 450 points, 70 points more
Yeah, it is 70 points more.
but the Maw Crusher has 4 more health, 2
Okay.
more attacks, and if you take the one that has the same save,
Okay.
and he doesn't rely all of his damage to be done by him moving around, which you're never going to get full damage first turn.
Correct. Oh boy, I have a hot take on this unstoppable momentum, but let's get into it. All right, so starting out, as far as the attacks go, they're actually pretty decent. They're not bad. I think
Yeah,
they're
it's
I think they're pretty. I mean, for an Ironjawz unit, it's pretty low for
yeah, it's
something. But I mean, they're okay. It's fine. 3 up save, 14 wounds.
you up the damage for these guys. We got some okay we got some okay damage among everything. Like this is
Mighty
Ironjawz. It's
Tusks
going to
hit
do,
like a truck. I
yeah.
like that. That's good.
It's Ironjawz. It's going to do a lot of damage.
Correct.
Like first off the place, right off. Don't lie
Yep.
to yourself. It's going to do damage.
Yeah, you definitely have to be afraid of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not scary.
one of the reasons why this thing is so much more expensive than just the other, I guess, standard ones, um, is this thing's crazy good. If this unit makes a charge move, you can reroll charge rolls for all friendly Grunta units. Sorry, I'm going to say Mod Crusher all the time. On the battlefield, so there's no range on this. You just get rerolls, just flat out rerolls, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. And it makes it a bit more unique than the rest of them, right? Um,
Uh, yeah. Like, but as a big head piece that you're probably going to use as like your because he's so many points, he's probably going to be like your headpiece that everybody like he's your general or he's
right.
the one that everybody's
Right.
going to be scared
Are you
of.
taking this over a Mod Crusher, right?
Yeah. While like the Maw Crusher is good because he can give he can give
Mighty
3.
Destroyers. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Um,
like that's so good.
So we're gonna get into the unstoppable momentum here in a second, but I'll just finish with these two. Headlong Charger. Well, this unit has a momentum score of 4 more. They can charge even if they ran earlier, which sounds fantastic. It sounds great, but we're gonna get into
Yes.
the momentum thing in a second. The next thing is Hack and Charge. You can carry out this carve a path monstrous rampage below. And I thought this was pretty decent. Oh, this is like this is a take on the ogre charge, right? Monsters Rampage.
Yeah, I think this monster section is a complete trap for people.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes, because what it does is allows you to do another charge, which is great, especially since with momentum, you get more momentum points.
Correct.
However, you need to roll under your current momentum, and like that means that there's a good chance that you're going to be failing this
And
when you
then
really need it.
do you want to do that or do you want to do roar, right? Or
It-
something
yeah,
that yeah, it's not guaranteed, but
and it's like
if you
all right, even late game, you have maximum momentum points. You're still like it takes maximum momentum points to be able to get it on a 1 through 5.
correct. Yeah. All right, so let's go through unstoppable momentum. Okay, so this unit has a momentum score that affects the value represented by a star for this unit as shown on the momentum table below, above. At the start of the battle, this unit has a score of 1. Okay, cool, great. Each time this unit finishes a run or a charge move, add D3 to its momentum score. This unit's momentum score can never exceed 6. At the end of each turn, you subtract 1 from it. So, you really can't benefit from this until turn 2, maybe. Right? Like, you start with 1. I don't think this thing's moving 9 inches, right? You run with it.
Wasn't there a thing where they don't lose momentum on the first round?
Oh, I didn't see that.
I thought I think that's part of their extra, like their army regiment that they're going to come out.
Oh, it might be. If that's the case, then this becomes a little bit better. But you're losing 1 at the end of this turn, and you're only gaining a possible D3, right? So who knows what that could be. You really can't take advantage of this until round 2. And do you put this thing out in the middle of the board?
Yeah,
I feel like this is a trap move here.
Yeah, so what it is you move it forward. You you go ahead and do the double move with it. So you move 18 inches, then you charge, and once you charge, it says you want to run and charge it, but if you run and charge it, you need to roll a 3 on the run in order to just run and charge. So that could be a trap to just if you're hoping to get that. And
yeah, the D3 rolling the 5 or 6. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it's one of those things where if even with the ogres, this happens with the ogres a lot. If you charge into them, they very quickly lose their power.
I mean, if you failed, so I guess you have to play this very specifically because you can't just run this thing out like your typical Ironjawz unit because if you fail that charge, you sacrifice this unit essentially.
Yeah, you play it just like you would play Gorgruntas. Like that's exactly how you play. You move 18 and then you charge.
That's if you make the charge though. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm.
I can see a play where I can see him being very useful in a fight. I don't see him being as useful as a Maw Crusher though. And if I had to make a choice between the two, I'd take the Maw Crusher.
Yeah, the Mighty Destroyers is where you're getting those extra points from, and they're totally worth it, right?
However, I will say I do have an Ironjawz list that I would play that uses a good majority of the Maw Pigs that I think would be interesting and fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe as I see more games with this, maybe this momentum thing will be better. But right now, I just feel like
I'll tell you my list after we go through the next 2.
Okay.
Because I think it would be interesting.
All right, so this is the Maw Pig with the Hacken Crew. So this is now a 4-up save. Essentially the same attacks, just less of them, right? Essentially.
It has 2 less attacks.
Yeah. Okay. It does not get the reroll charges. And everything else is the same. And the Monstrous Rampage is a little different as well.
Yeah, the Monstrous Rampage requires you to charge, I believe.
Yes.
Where the big one didn't require you to charge, this one requires you to charge. Am I getting that right?
This interception number. Okay, now I am. No, wait, hold on. No, there's the same one. It's the
Same one?
same Monsters Rampage. It's the next one that's different.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same Monsters Rampage. So the only thing that this thing is really different is this is how much is this? This is 110 points cheaper. You don't get the reroll charges, and it's got 2 less attacks.
It's not a hero. That's the biggest thing.
And it's got a 4-up save instead of a 3-up.
Yes,
But
everything
honestly,
past that is 4-up save.
110 points you're saving? Are you taking this over the hero? I don't know.
So with the hero, you can give artifacts like Destructor or Fasten.
That's true. That's true. So that okay. So that extra
And that's-
110 points is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. The Fasten by itself is really good. As well as like giving it Destructor and putting it on like the 6 attacks that it has.
I mean,
It has play.
yeah, okay. If you put Fasten, because he's not unique, right? No, he's not unique.
No.
Yeah, I guess if you put Fasten on this, the Tusk Boss does get a lot better. That's a lot of movement. You'll definitely make that charge at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But you are just throwing them in. But I mean, I guess that's Ironjawz in a nutshell.
You're gonna do that anyways.
Right. Okay, so then we get to the just base stock one. 2 less wounds, 4-up save still.
Okay. So they lose the fighters on the side, which is
Correct.
the ones that give very high rend. So now they
Okay.
only have 1 attack with high rend.
Okay.
However, it's like 90 points cheaper or something like that.
This is 180
yeah.
points, so it's 200 points cheaper than the hero.
Yes. So 90 points cheaper for 2 less wounds and 2 less attacks.
And then
And other than that, they have pretty much the same exact profile.
the Monsters Rampage is different. So this one,
The Monsters Rampage gives Strike last effect,
Strike
but only
last
to things
effects.
of 1 or 2 wound characteristics. So it's very iffy.
yeah. Yeah.
However, there's one big thing that this guy has above all the others, and that is he can be in a battle. He can be battle line.
Yeah, that's true. So you can
And-
run the people who want to run Maw Pigs as their entire list, they can now do so.
And the thing is that you can go ahead and reinforce them, which is the biggest thing out of it all.
So you can have 3, 6, 9 of these guys.
You can have a crap ton of these guys, and
Wow,
it could be very good.
How many points does 9 give you? I should know this. 180 times 9.
So
That's way too much. You
So
could
I have
technically have 1,600 points of 9 of these guys.
Yeah. So I have a list that uses the most out of the the Maw Gruntas, and it is a Maw Crusher. It is the lead pig, and then it is 3 units of Maw Grunter Gougers, with 2 of them being reinforced, and then 2 War Chanters to buff damage.
Oof,
And with
War
that-
Chanters with these guys are scary business. That's a lot of
Yeah.
damage.
With that, you have a bunch of things that can rush forward all across the field.
And they're all monsters too. Oh boy.
Yep. It's a lot of slappy with them. And
I will
remember
say, counterplay to this, man. You put Kragnos against this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's going to be taking out some things. Yeah, they're good. What I do like is I love the sculpts, man. Like, look at that sculpt. Oh, it is
absolutely beautiful
so
sculpt.
Amazing.
If I was to make an army with them, it would be very expensive because I'd want very, very many of them.
Yes. So we'll see. We'll probably see it at some point, right? Once these guys get painted. All right, and then we move on to the big boss.
All right, so no more pigs.
No more pigs. Big boss is 100 points. Decent attack. 3-up save.
His entire thing is that you can give rally to 2 Ardboy units, and you increase their shield bash rolls, which can it could potentially do quite a bit.
And it's on a 5-up instead of a 4-up. It's good to note.
Yeah,
Because otherwise
they
they would
changed
get a
the
4-up.
Ardboy's rally
Yes.
to
Yep.
having to be from this hero instead of having it naturally.
Yes. And it's on a 5-up instead of a 4-up, which is good. A much needed change. He's good. He's okay. He's all right. For 100 points, sure.
Yeah,
For
not
taking a
bad.
lot of Ardboys, sure.
If you're doing an Ardboy army, you're going to be taking him.
Yep. Zagruk and Volsmasha.
I
Um,
absolutely love him. I love his squig. I love him, and I want to use him.
he's the one with the little squig with the rock thing on it,
He
right?
has an anvil squig named
Yeah,
Clonk, and he's
Clunk.
adorable.
Oh, Clonk, yeah, the companion. Yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
So his entire shtick is you have two weapons you can choose. One of them is you can get some tongs, and what it does is in your
4 up.
hero phase, you choose an Ironjawz unit, and on a 4-up, sixes to hit are mortal wounds in addition. If you choose the tongs, it becomes a 2-up,
2 up. Yeah, it's
becomes
pretty good.
mortal wounds in addition.
Pretty good. Pretty good for Ironjawz. Attacks are key on this, right?
Yep.
So
Or you can give him the ward smashing choppa. And it's only 2 attacks, but it's 2 attacks at threes, -2, 3 damage. Remember, you can increase all the damage by 1. And if he rolls a 6, you don't get ward for the rest of the battle.
which is amazing.
Uh,
Absolutely amazing.
I think everybody's always going to be choosing the tongs, but that
Yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
very
you have to get this dude into I mean, I don't think that it's an awesome ability, but I don't
he,
think people are going to use it much.
exactly. Everybody's going to use the tongs, but he does slap in combat pretty hard.
Yep.
He is no
Um,
slouch.
he's also pretty cool. The new sculpts for the Ironjawz are just awesome. Brute Ragers. 5-up save, 3 wounds each. I think there's 5 of these in a group. No, 3
No,
of
there's
them.
only 3.
There's only 3.
So the new brutes I do not like at all.
Yeah, these guys. You get run and charge, sure.
So it's
If
4-inch move,
6,
run and charge, a total of 9 wounds at a 5-up save.
so you get 9 attacks, force -1 D3. But if you get 6s, they're 3 mortal wounds, which is okay. How much are these?
They're 100 points.
I mean, that's not bad.
If they were battle line, I would completely change my opinion on them.
Yeah,
But
100 points
I'm not
is
going
pretty
to spend
cheap.
I'm not going to spend 100 points for these guys. You know what I'm going to spend? 20 more points to get a war chanter. So I can throw my Ard boys in and actually do damage.
If you screened these guys pretty well against like some brutes or something, these guys could be all right. I mean, 100 points is not that bad. I think that's a pretty cheap
It's
price.
100 points for 9 attacks. What? 9 attacks at 4-up, 4-up.
Yeah, but you're just looking for 6s.
That
right?
you're trying to hope for 6. So it's 100 points for a
Oh,
dream.
and you only get one of the options.
Yeah, you only get one of these options.
Okay, yeah, that's much less.
Like
Yeah, no,
the
not
best
taking
option.
those. Yeah, I'm not taking those.
The best
I thought
option
I thought
is
they at least got
9
2 of these.
attacks at 3-up, 3-up, -2/2.
Yeah.
Which
I
you
thought
can get. You can get that with normal brutes.
Right. I thought you could take 2 of these, but you can only take one of these. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And
They're just
honestly, you're
They're
probably
just not good.
even if I were taking them, I'm not taking the bone shattering strike either. I'm probably taking the Gorhakas.
Yeah, you're going to take them core hackers so you can
'Cause
have some rend
Yeah, some rend and it's
and
more
actually
reliable.
be able to hit.
Yeah, it's more reliable. Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a huge bummer.
Yeah.
They're cool
And-
looking too. Bummer.
Yeah. The weird brute rekkas have the exact same problem. Still only 9 wounds total, 5-up save.
125 points for these.
125 points. They have each model has 6 attacks at 4-up, 4-up, -1/2. So
Man,
in total, 18 attacks at 4-up, 4-up, -1/2.
they really.
Their shtick is that they have ward of 5-up if they're in combat.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I mean,
Yeah, they're so cheap. They're gonna die so fast anyways.
yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
not worth
not a
it.
huge fan. Not a huge fan of those. Those are okay, I guess. The 5-up board's not something to shake a stick at. Like,
Out of everything in the supplement, both of those are hard nose.
yeah. All right, let's get to this one because I have.
I want to hear your opinion on the Ard boys.
Okay, so my issue with the Ard Boys is, well, first off, when I look at these guys, I compare them very much to Chaos Warriors, right? They're essentially
Yes.
the same price. These are actually 20 points more
They are
than
very
Chaos Warriors.
They are very similar to Chaos Orders.
Yes. You add the one to attacks characters for choppers if you made a charge move, and you add one to the rend, right? Yeah. On the
For
2-inch.
stickers, if
Yeah.
they charged you.
Oh, if the target made a charge movement. Oh, I thought it
Yes.
was if you charge them. Okay, all right.
No, no, no. One. So choppas are
Okay,
aggressive.
so they're
Stickas are
wow, they
defensive.
are very, they're they are the exact same playstyle you would use for Chaos Warriors. Like they're essentially the same thing.
Yep.
Now my issue isn't so much with the War Scroll because the War Scroll is obviously better. My
Yes.
issue is the point cost
That they're
because
really, really expensive.
20 points. So now your cheapest battle line are 5 brutes at 140 points. That's if you're not taking the. Well, I mean, even if you take the pigs, they're still going to be more expensive. 180 for.
Yep.
Hold on. Oh, because the gougers become battle line. Yeah, okay. So 180 if that. So your cheapest battle line are brutes at 140 points for 5 of them.
Yeah, and like brutes are
That
good, but
is
they're only good
unfortunate.
at reinforced, and so now you're at 280 points.
Yeah. I mean, if
Uh,
you want it, and then what you do get 10 of them. Oh
yeah,
man. I mean,
like I do think that they are good. I think that the Ard Boys play style, because you can increase their damage by 1. Like you can increase their rend by
so, I
1
mean, the
with their
biggest
wall.
difference, right, is you look at Slaves to Darkness, right? They have other options for battle line that are cheaper, so you have a little bit more
Yes.
playroom there. This Ironjawz lists are going to go up in points like crazy because of this.
Yeah.
And
My
is
my
that
big
going to hurt them?
worry, my big worry right now is that we're gonna see Gore Gruntas go up points because everybody uses Gore Grunters, and I really don't want them to go up points. But now that they have more options, it's just
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
man. I don't know. I
I'm
think
very
they've got a
curious
points
to
problem.
see.
I definitely think the scrolls are great. I mean, the mob pigs are great. There's a couple misses, right? But I think the biggest problem here that Ironjawz is going to face is new points cost.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to be
I'm
rough
very
for them.
curious to see what the new points are going to be with the battle scroll.
Yep, yep. We will. I am very curious to see. I'm hoping that maybe Gore Grunts at least stay the same, but we'll see. We'll see.
And I have a feeling that we're going to see Big Wah go down pretty hard.
Um. Oh yeah, because you can't.
Because
Again, the only thing you can do is
Ard
I couldn't
Boys
run
were
my list.
the Ard Boys was the mortars keeping
Yeah.
Big Wah together.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, so there's the supplement. So some cool stuff and some not cool stuff. We'll see how they play. As people make new Ironjawz lists, we will definitely see. Oh man, I do agree with you on the Big Wah thing. That's gonna suck. It's gonna be a bummer. I think the Big Wah definitely goes down.
I've spent multiple hours today trying to make a Big Wah list that I liked,
And you
and
couldn't do it.
I am stuck.
Well, we'll figure something out. All right, so that is the Ironjawz supplement. Let's go into the Smite GT recap, which was pretty.
Yeah, that was super
So
fun.
the art of the week. I'm just gonna highlight all of the winners for the painting competition, the hobby competition for Smite GT. We had Sean. I mean, these pictures are kind of. I mean, go check our Instagram or Twitter. We have these listed, or actually Instagram. They're on Instagram. And I believe our Facebook. So definitely go check them out there.
We took many
I just want to make sure
pictures.
I uploaded what I needed to. Oh, the big. Is that the big sad? Is that what you meant by that? I think that's what you meant by that. That's pretty funny.
It's the big wah.
Oh, got it. Got it. Makes sense. Yep. I get it now. That's pretty funny. The Sean Lyons got top painting, right? All 3 of these were top painting. So
Yeah, so Sean's played a Skaven list, and like
there's one
you
down
can't
here.
see it. You can't see it from here, but all of his units and all of his like squads were based off of like Clan Mulder, Clan Scryer,
Yeah.
or Clan Eshin even, and so almost every single piece was customized in some way. Like even his warp lightning cannon was just a giant rat with a cannon coming out of it. It was super cool to look at.
Yeah, it's a cool display board. I think he was one of 2 people that had display boards, so
Hmm.
pretty cool. Pretty cool. Marco Campo had the Nurgle here in the middle. Those trees, though.
I've seen he's had this army for quite a while, and I love looking at it every single time it
Yeah,
comes up.
it's very. It's got some like. What is it? Like
It's a bedazzled
rhinestones and stuff.
Nurgle
Yeah,
list
yeah, yeah.
with
Pretty cool.
shells and slime and ooey gooey forest.
Right.
It's really cool and creative.
And then we have Christopher Lieber over here with the Ironjawz, and it might not look. It's kind of hard to see in this picture because they're so small, so I apologize. But there's a lot of free hands that he did with his Ironjawz, which is pretty amazing.
Almost all of the armor of his
Yeah.
Ironjawz are completely free-handed designs of
Mm-hmm.
like the actual regiments. It looks really good. It's
Yeah.
really good close up.
And then lastly, we got Mark Abbott, who actually took home the Monument Hobbies Favorite Award. And his Seraphon was absolutely amazing. I played Mark round 1, and his Seraphon is absolutely amazing. It's very well painted, very technical, and it's amazing. It looks really good. So
All of these were just so good to look at. Being able to see them on the field playing against one another.
God, there were a lot of good painted armies. It was a very well painted turnout for sure. All right, so that's the art of the week. All right, so then we got all right. So in third place, so how we're gonna do this is we'll do third, second, first for top list, and then me and Cameron picked out one each that we kind of our
Our
favorites.
favorite list
Yeah.
of the tournament.
Yeah. So this is Colt. He got third place. As you can see on the left-hand side here, he's just got hordes of zombies. The cool thing about his...
He was the 160
Yes,
herd,
160
right?
zombies. Yep, and I'll show his list here in a second. What's cool about his army is he has these little metal plates that he magnetized and could manipulate to move them appropriately so he could save time and movement. Pretty smart. Pretty smart.
Yeah, because you absolutely need that in that army.
Yeah.
Because
So congrats, Colt. This is his list. Rion Viracos, and just an absolute mass amount of zombies. And
is his list up?
Oh, sorry. There it is. I think he had one loss, and it was against Aaron Newborn with IDK.
Yeah, he lost against a list that was very specifically made to fight zombies.
Yep.
And it was still a very close match.
So congrats to Colts for the third place finish. Very, very good.
Yep. And the entire point of the army was just to have zombies, to be able to buff them with corpse carts, and then no matter what happens, you give them a 5-up ward, and you just keep bringing those zombies back. Gorslav to bring zombies, Belladonna to give them 2 hits. It's
Torgulus, like everything just works to better assist the zombies.
Yeah, Vampire Lords to give them more attacks. It's just everything is there to buff zombies in some way.
Yep.
And
so
it works.
Cool. So that's third place. In second place, we had Jeremy. I'm not going to even pronounce your last name because I do not know how to pronounce your last name. But this was Jeremy. Jeremy has done very well in Arizona. He was the winner of the Gamers Guild GT back in the summer. And
plays a beautifully painted Slaanesh.
Yes.
It's all about like sitting back and then suddenly striking.
Yep.
And being able to throw things out with the mask. It's pretty good.
He's a very methodical player. Like he knows this army very, very well. And he plays it very, very well. So congrats to Jeremy. This is his list. Got a couple Blitzbarb Archers, Blitzbarb Seekers. He's got the Chaos War Shrine, which is a little different. Sigval, Shard Speaker, Keeper Secrets, Lord of Pain, the mask. He's basically all drops. He doesn't have any battle regiment, so typically he doesn't have priority during the match.
And the entire point of the list is to be able to give Keeper Secrets and where is it, Sigvald 3d6 charge and just
charge. Yep.
rush them in.
Yep. And all in the meantime, you're just shooting from the back line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
With
Jeremy...
a lot of spellcasters to be able to negate magic.
Yep.
And to be able to buff.
I think Jeremy lost to... Was it Thomas?
Yes, it was Thomas.
Okay, so I think he lost to Thomas. But it was a very close game.
He lost very, very close to a zombie horde list.
Yes. And that brings us to our first place winner, the one and only Thomas Guan, who had a similar list to Colt, lots of zombies. I think the biggest difference he had was Lefebvre.
Yes, he had a monster for Lefebvre to be able to lower rend and be able to have a big hitter in it, which worked really, really well. Just endless amounts of zombies, buff the zombies, but with Lefebvre there to be able to be within the horde of zombies and be able to do a lot of attacks, being able to roar and stomp, just being able to do all that damage output while still being protected by a whole lot of zombies.
Yep. So now that we've seen, so we had first and third Soul Blight with a bunch of zombies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to say maybe there's a problem with Soul Blight.
We had 3 zombie horde lists in the tournament, and man, it's just one thing. I don't enjoy watching a zombie horde list because all it is just a bunch of zombies sitting in a line, and then your opponent trying fruitlessly to kill a bunch of zombies before they die from all the zombies.
It's essentially a giant's list with mini models, right? It essentially becomes a DPS check. Now, that being said, I don't... congrats to Colt and Thomas, because...
It's super good.
Well, now, you have a lot of things... Like, a lot of people think they can just take a bunch of zombies and win, but that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot of things that you don't think about when you play zombies, and one of them is the time, right? Like, you can't be a new player, take a bunch of zombies, and just hope that you're going to win, because most of the time you're going to run out of time, right? So the fact that Thomas and Colt were able to play their games out and solidify their wins is impressive, because it takes a special type of person to get through these lists, because there's a lot to them and a lot that's happening at one point in time. So, like, Colt definitely knew that going into it. That's why he had a bunch of those trays. So good on him. But
being prepared for the list is one of the harder parts of the list.
Right. Now, that being said, I'm hoping that we do get a Battle Scroll update sometime this week. We will see what they end up doing with Soul Blight. I don't know. But I think everyone in the community knows that Soul Blight and OBR are probably an issue right now. So
only a slight issue.
I think it's more than that, but yeah. I know Colt would agree. Actually, Colt would agree with me. I don't know if he's still here, but I think he would agree with me. All right, so then we will go to Cameron's favorite.
Oh yeah.
And this is our very own George Reed.
No, I'm not biased at all about this list.
Hey, Colt. So let's get into his list. That's the one on the right shows his army pretty well. And yes, you saw it right. There is a Nagash.
Yeah, Nagash.
So, do you want to go over this one? You're the death expert.
All right. So
you helped him formulate this too.
Yes, exactly. This is Nagash, a Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, a White King on Skeletal Steed, 3 Black Knights, and a Fellbat unit. And pretty much what I've seen, like going around and eavesdropping on the fights here, is that everybody gets really, really scared of Nagash, and then the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, who has a 3F Ethereal, because this is Legion of Blood, just goes around and just eats everything.
Oh, and
And so
don't forget about the White King and the Black Knights too, because they do a ton of damage.
like they're good, but it was all the zombie dragon. Like the Black Knights do a little bit of plink damage going through. They help. They screen. Everybody hears how horrifying they are, so they all attack the Black Knights. And then like they're not impossible to like. They're not easy to get rid of, especially because Nagash gives them a 5-up ward.
Yep.
And so like they survive a lot longer than they should have. And if you don't kill him, like you're getting 3 models back a turn,
correct.
pretty much.
Also, George did pretty well at the tournament too. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know how this was gonna do. Right? Like we haven't seen a Nagash. I haven't seen a Nagash list since the new updates.
So
And
he went
he
3-2 in the tournament. He lost to a Soul Blight zombie list.
which was our very own Jet.
Yep, and he lost like just barely. It came down to the wire. They actually had to play out
Through
during
lunch.
the lunch.
Yeah, I remember that.
To be able to finish it versus an Osiark list.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And he just barely lost it.
And the biggest reason he lost the zombie one too is he had some miscasts. And
Yeah, he miscasted first turn, first spellcast
that
with
sucks.
Nagash.
And when you miscast with Nagash, your 900 points becomes real sour.
Yeah.
So.
And like the biggest thing, like it's so good in Soul Blight because Nagash just there's so many debuff spells that you go ahead and you just find their biggest, scariest piece and you completely neuter it.
Yep.
To where it just can't do anything. And
So
if you do that every single turn, like use the Vampire Lord to kill everything else and you just neuter one piece.
So that's George's list. And then we get to and I think Colt's still here. I know you're not gonna like this pick, but I thought Aaron Newborn's list. The more I looked at his list, the more I loved it. He definitely had one purpose and one purpose alone, and that is to go into the tournament and completely wreck horde armies.
And he was round 5 top table.
Yes.
He got all the way up there, and he was fighting the top table.
Yep. And he plays IDK very well. Here is his list. But this, I kept asking throughout the tournament. I was like, how is Aaron's IDK list doing so well? And then we had the discussion during the tournament. Camaron was explaining some of the sub faction stuff, and now I understand why it's so good against horde armies. This army is created very carefully to counter those horde armies, and it is fantastic. And I love everything about it. I really like this list. If I had enough thralls, I would run something like this. I just love this list. I really, really do.
Thralls are so good. They're so scary.
Well, it's funny because hardly anyone takes the sub faction. I don't see the sub faction hardly at all. So, I mean, this is just it's an awesome, awesome list. I really like it. I like the sharks. I like the Leviathan. The
Sharks are always scary.
Yeah.
Like those sharks that are so fast and do so much damage.
Colt said it. That's what I'm gonna take to Old Town. I'll take IDK and a bunch of thralls. I don't know. We'll see. We haven't figured out what our lists are yet, but that's good to know. All right, so that's that. That's all we had. It was a pretty short. We just wanted to do a recap on some of our favorites.
Going over our favorites of the tournament and be able to check out that new Ironjawz stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, how are you? What was your opinion on the new was it Trug model?
Trug, the Trug King.
Yeah, Trug King with his portal of greatness.
I can't say anything yet until I know more about the sub faction or how that Army of Renown's working. As far as the model itself, he's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best sculpts I've seen in quite a while. Like, holy cow, it is beautiful.
Colt, I might be borrowing some of your dang Colt Tragoths, though. Do you? I'm not sure if you have any of those painted. I know you were trying to make a dang Colt Tragoth like army. I think it would be really fun just to run that, just to see. I do need to see what the rules are for the Army of Renown, just to see, like, I don't know if it's a sub faction that he gets that allows all of the Trogs to get his buffs, but oh, you got
Yeah.
4 of them. Yeah, that's good.
I think it's going to, from my understanding, I think it's going to be the same thing like the Legion of Grief and the one that the Dark Prince was part of. I can't remember the subfaction name or his name for some reason. Bellicor, there we go.
Legion of the
Like,
First Prince.
yeah, Legion of the First Prince. Like when they originally
Great.
came
So,
out, I think it's going to be one of those.
So I'll paint it all up, and it'll go out of date in 6 months, and I'll be really mad.
Yep, just for you.
Gosh dang it! If there's one army that I spent so much time to perfect and paint, and
It was
be
Legion
prepared
of the
for,
First
it was
Prince.
Legion of the First Prince.
Yep.
And I got rid of it. I'm
And
so
you
sad.
got-
Oh, it
you
was
were
such a cool.
very
army.
salty.
Oh, it was such a cool army. Having 4 fatties in the back was just. It was the coolest looking army, man. Oh, I'm so sad they got rid of that. Makes me so sad.
I remember all of the salt. It is
yeah.
okay.
So as far as what's coming up next, we definitely need to do a cities review. I've yet to do that. I need to find someone who's got the cities book because I don't want the cities box.
I don't want it either.
So like, I'm hoping I can find someone that has the books and let me borrow it so we can do a review on that because we got to get that done. I'm sure. Again, we're hoping for a Battle Scroll update, so we might do something with that. But definitely. The cities book for sure. And I think we're gonna get an actual Ironjawz book, right?
So it's the supplement, I believe.
Is that all it is? Everything else is the same?
I believe it
Okay.
is.
Well, we'll see what happens. Also, I will hopefully be getting that regiment. I guess a regiment of renown box or the trug box or whatever it is.
Going to get the Trug box?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that because I need to add Trug to my collection for sure. Other than that,
don't blame me.
Yeah, and then as we get closer to the Old Town, we'll be working through some lists.